100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You is pure comedy gold. What a WTF episode with so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. As per usual, I have to say, I love that anime does not have filters because we get episodes like this where you literally have a bunch of girls turning into babies and you have my first baby scenario, but it's so wrong, yet at the same time, it's absolutely adorable and it has this heartfelt moments that are mixed in within it. It's pure chaos. It's just absolutely pure chaos. Like I say, Kushiri creates chaos, and I think that's why Kushiri is like one of the best like characters to put into this chemistry. She breaks things and makes weird things like, yes, Karane not being able to wean off of Hakari's milk. It's crazy. It's crazy. I absolutely loved it. Where do I even start with this episode? Yes, we technically had the introduction of the Maido. And this is like probably the worst kept secret ever. I mean, the moment that we seen Maido, it was like, oh, she's going to be a girlfriend. It's just like the announcer at the whole food festival thing. Yeah, it's going to be a girlfriend eventually. But yes, Maido. We knew eventually she's going to become a actual girlfriend in the whole scenario. And I think that's going to be really interesting to get into her character because what they're sort of kind of presenting her as is loyalty. She doesn't want to admit her love to Rentaro, even though that whole shock happened and everything. She's like, I can never fall in love with you. You're the mistress's boyfriend. I can't get with you. And it's going to turn into one of those things where even though she's been commanded to accept her feelings, she's probably never going to actually fall in love. She can't. So it's kind of another one of those really interesting scenarios that we've had previously with, I think, like Nano and stuff, is this idea that she cannot accept it. And so it's going to have something to kind of drill into her head to accept that love rather than it just be she's commanded to do so. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's get in this episode. Let's start off with my first baby scenario, which for those who don't know what that means, it's basically if every harem, there's a concept of one guy and a bunch of girls, but because they can't actually get with the girls and actually have children because it's anime or manga or harem, they have to present this idea where they get a child through some other means. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the scenario right here. Hakari and Rentaro having a bunch of children, which is very difficult to handle. So there's kind of a nice little wake-up call for Hakari really in this scenario because, again, this is her and Hahari's episode, which I thought was really fantastic to mix that in there with it. This is Hakari learning how difficult it is to raise children. Yes, the fact that they want the milk. They're climbing on your back, you drop them, all this kind of stuff, trying to humor them and everything. But it was super cute. Seeing like Shizuka, my gosh, Shizuka was super adorable. Just going through each one of them, seeing how adorable they are, how much mess they're getting into, how mean Nano is as a child. Immediately stabbing him in the eyes. Shizuka's over here. She's terrified the entire time. Karane and Kurumi want milk. And then later on, after they get changed back, they're not waned off of it. So they want more of Hakari. But again, like usual with this series, I love that within the mix of all that, there is a like impactful story. Even though they keep throwing jokes in there as they're trying to tell it, the concept here is that, yes, technically Hahari, which we got into a little bit in the first season, this poor lady never had a childhood. The moment that she was young enough that she could produce a child, she was having a child. And so she never got to have fun as a child. And so, yes, the whole idea here is that she's super goofy. And so Hakari's like, yeah, obviously she never had childhood. Hey, Mom, I'm sorry what I said earlier, getting on to you about being goofy and silly in front of all my, everybody around us. But yeah, I've always looked up to you. And now you have this chance to be a child. Please enjoy the joys that you couldn't enjoy before. It is, again, that sad reality of somebody who, yes, was a mother way too early, is that she never got to do all this goofy stuff. She never got to be silly. Even though, yes, we could point out several times that her normal self is being silly. But again, the vision that we got of Hahari before she became part of the harem was this very pronounced lady, this very strong lady that never got to do silly things. Now she can finally do silly things. She can try to get everybody to wear a baby outfit. I like how Rentaro was immediately like, yes, I'll put it on. She's like, no, don't rim it. And in the end, she didn't get to see anybody in the baby outfits. The poor lady. And then Kusuri and Shizuka go up there and give her a little girl sandwich. Little girl burger. Yeah, it was little girl burger. It was pure chaos. This entire episode just absolutely pure freaking chaos with this whole beginning segment. But yeah, on the opposite end of that is just, yes, Hakari realizing at that point that, oh, this is what she was talking about. I was her ray of hope. When she was raising me, it is that whole idea that, yes, despite the fact that Hahari had no childhood, she didn't get to be a goofball whenever, be a teenager. She had Hakari way too young. She had to kind of shape up very quickly. At the same time, yes, Hakari was her ray of hope. This was this thing that she loved so much. This was the thing that she got from the one that she loved. So it's kind of a give and take scenario. But yes, the second half of the episode, again, Mado. We get the Mado into the picture, talking about the fact that, yes, they first start talking about everybody's eyes and how everybody has these different types of eyes and they're all beautiful for their own reasons. Karane's is like, what was it, like an Amazon lion or something like that? But no, Hahari pointing out that, yes, Mado has rainbow eyes, which is very interesting, which, yes, it turned out to be rainbow eyes. And then everybody trying to figure out a way to get her to open her eyes. Nano just goes over there and like, stab. No, I'm sorry. It was fake. I'm sorry, you two. Just goes over. But it's all about the fact that, yes, Mado, obviously being a maid character, she's like super devoted to Hahari and everything's about whatever Hahari commands she will do. And she always has to smile because she's a perfect Mado. So she always has to have a smile on to the point where she can't even open up her eyes and not smile. It was great because they even point out the joke about the fact that, yes, there's all these characters in anime and manga that have like the eyes that are always closed and you always wonder how can they even see anything. Of course, she is able to sense things. So she catches a random flower pot that's going to fall on Rento's head. The entire time, Karane cannot let it go. Like, can we not talk about where the hell did the flower pot come from? And yes, probably singly the most cutest freaking moment in the entire history of 100 Girlfriends happens right here, where out of nowhere, Shizuka just walks up, is dead silent, and she just goes, boo. Like, one of the only, like, the third moment that we've ever had Shizuka actually say something out loud, and it's to say, wow. It's so freaking cute. I'm Hahari over here where it's just like gush falling over. And then Renta's over here like trying to play into it like, oh no, I've been shocked. Oh wow, that was scary. Super freaking cute. Just seeing Shizuka just out of her normal comfort zone and just start fidgeting, just totally embarrassed about the whole situation. It was way too cute. And then yes, we get another sign about how the biggest pairing in this series is Karane and Hahari. We get yet another confirmation that the two of them are destined to be together. And that's the fact that Hahari wants to give Mama the most joy. And the most joy from Hahari is to be able to get cozy with them. So immediately Hahari grabs Karane and just shoves her forward. She's like, wait, if you want to do that, then why don't you do that yourself? Well, that's incest. I can't do that. And she's like, what the hell do you expect me to do? Smooch. And Karane immediately goes, she smells like Hahari, and then allows it to happen. The moment she realizes that Hahari smells like Hahari, she's like, oh, okay, I'm fine with this suddenly. It gets so close. And then Hahari just throws her off to the side and says, you weren't going to actually do it. And Rento picks up on it. He's like, you don't have to, I know you're jealous, but you don't have to throw her. It's like, yeah, technically Hahari got jealous of Karane, or she got jealous of Hahari, technically, because again, Hahari and Karane, they're a thing. There's a total shift there. They're totally into each other. It's just way too much. But no, that all leads into, yes, Rentaro finally figuring out how he can possibly get Mado to open up her eyes, and that is to tell a joke about himself in messing up My Neighbor Totoro by saying Totoro or something like that over and over again, flubs it up, and then he reveals that, in fact, it wasn't him that flubbed it up. It was Hahari, and that shocks her. It goes from like her laughing about what he just told, and then to realize that it was, oh yeah, it's my master. I can't laugh at my master. And it just breaks her. Eyes open, shock happens, shock to everybody, not because everybody knew it was going to be a thing, that Mado is actually one of the girlfriends. And again, I think this will be interesting going forward because, again, Mado right here immediately says, yes, I seen his face, or Hahari says it. You've seen his face, you've seen how handsome he is, and you fell in love with him. Well, that's great. And everybody's like, again, it's like one of those rare moments that we rarely have like the reveal happen in front of everybody. Whereas typically he finds somebody and then realizes it, and then they fall in love, and then he brings them into the group. Here, everybody knows her already. And it's actually happening in front of everybody. So it's immediately everybody's like, oh, cool. We have the maid as part of the group now. Yay, she's part of the harem now. Like everybody immediately accepts her. But again, Mado won't accept it because she can't do that to her master, even though her master says it's perfectly fine. Put your feelings first. And then again, at that point, it's turning into loyalty. And I think they sort of have that with the narration that basically says, yeah, this is loyalty. But when can it turn to actual love? She loves him. The Doki Dokis happen. She's flustered and everything like that. But again, she won't accept it. Hahari says accept it. She says, okay, I'll go out with you. Please go out with me. Again, it's command. She's taken in a command. So I think that's what they're probably going to turn this into, is going to having her literally go through the motions and then never really accept it. And it kind of does suck when she says at some point, I won't accept the love until the day I die. I won't do that to my master. And it's like, yeah, literally you're going to die. Again, that's like one of those things that you have to remember, that they remind us at the very beginning of this season, that yes, if they don't accept love, they're dead. Really, really good episode. I was really happy to have this episode after, again, I wasn't too much of a fan of episode 14. I thought it was kind of a downer episode. The food festival thing was there was some cute points in it, but it was like, that felt like a waste. So glad to see it come back in full power and just, again, not hold anything back. I love how unapologetic this episode is, and just how absolutely bonkers crazy you can have. Again, literally Hakari getting just absolutely munched on by two girls. And then again, afterwards, having them literally unweaned from it, they're still craving her milk. Especially Kurumi. I thought they were going to turn her into a spit fetish, and it looks like it's turning into a milk fetish. I don't know. I will say there was a sign in this episode what they might end up turning Meido into, because at some point you had Kurumi. She tries to get her to open her eyes in her own method, which is, yes, whenever I eat this particular thing, my eyes get wide open. Like I love it so much. So if I feed this to Meido, then maybe her eyes will open. So Meido takes it and she starts eating it after she gets commanded to. And as she's munching on it, she has puppy dog ears. So I'm like, I wonder if they're going to turn her into kind of the puppy dog character, where she's always like off to the side. Well, I mean, she's a maid, so she's always like servant. So it kind of makes me think that she'll always be like, jumping into the scene with puppy dog ears and going, yes, Rentaro, what do you want me to do? I wonder if that was a sign of what they're going to end up doing with her, because she had like the cute little, it was really kind of the veil thing, but it looked like droopy ears. So I'm thinking that's what they're probably going to do with her. Anyways, super good episode. Had way too much fun. Again, really happy to see it come back like this in full force, and cannot wait for more. But anyhow, that's my thoughts on episode 15. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Impressions, if you did, hit the like button down below. I'm getting emails now of people wanting to pay for me to take down my videos. So apparently somebody doesn't like my 100 Girlfriends videos. It was funny because I had recently seen that Psychotrist had posted a video of somebody telling him to take down his 100 Girlfriend videos, and that it's completely inappropriate. You shouldn't be covering this show. It's got these characters, and some of them are younger, and it gets etchy. You shouldn't do this. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Screw you. And then immediately after I see that video, I get an email of somebody saying, I will pay you super chat to take down your videos. I don't like this. It's like, okay, I don't really care. I'm not gonna take your money to take down my videos. I want to cover the show. So yeah, hit the like button if you like this video, because he's probably gonna hit the dislike button. And yeah, send me a super chat if you like this content, because that'll apparently offset whatever he's gonna send me. I'm joking. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Take care.